Very good morning, India. Welcome to News This Week on Spirits TV. I am Shalini Kumar with the latest updates from the world of alcoholic beverages and hospitality. Let's start with new policy initiatives taken by some states. The Uttar Pradesh government has taken another step for inviting more investments in the state from Alcobev entrepreneurs. In order to promote the production of wine in Uttar Pradesh, the Uttar Pradesh government is working on a proposal to set up wine industry in the state. On this, senior officials of the excise department recently met the Wine Manufacturers Association to discuss ways of establishing wine manufacturing units in the state. Uttar Pradesh boasts of surplus produce of subtropical fruits which are now increasingly being used in winemaking. UP has a policy for wine manufacturing but does not have a single wine production unit so far. Finally, India has a set of rules and regulations to define vegan foods. India's food regulator FSSAI has recently notified this new regulation. This is a landmark development and a big win for vegans across India. According to the FSSAI's new regulations, vegan food products are to be labeled as those foods or food ingredients that have not made using of any ingredients, additives and processing aids of animal origin including milk and milk products, fish, poultry and meat, egg or egg products, honey or honey bee products, materials of insect origin like silk, dyes, etc., or ingredients that are clarified animal sourced products like bone char used in sugar bleaching, isinglass in clarifying beer, etc. Regulations also include that vegan food should not be tested on animals. Delhiites is gearing up to welcome festive season like rest of India. New development at Delhi government front suggests that government is in no mood to hamper the spirits of Delhiites. The Delhi government's excise department has relaxed norms to apply for P10 license, which is required to serve liquor at parties in Delhi, allowing planners to seek the permit 7 days in advance to the function and purchase alcohol from 6 vends. The P10 license is mandatory for serving liquor in any party, function, marriage and other such events inside specific premises that include farmhouse, banquet hall, motel and anywhere else in Delhi, excluding public parks, subject to certain conditions. The relaxation will be in place till 30th November 2021. Earlier, anyone seeking P10 license in Delhi was required to apply 2 days before the event and could purchase Indian and foreign liquor from only 3 vends. After various rounds of discussion and deliberation, India and Australia have agreed to finalize bilateral free trade agreement by the end of 2022. However, an interim agreement between two countries will be finalized by Christmas this year. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal and his Australian counterpart Trade Minister Dan Tehan made the announcement at a press conference in Delhi. This comes a week after Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison met during the first in-person Quad Summit in Washington. South Australia's state government has initiated the South Australian Indian Wine Expansion Initiative that will run over the next 12 months. Minister for Trade and Investment Stephen Patterson said the Indian wine expansion move will further support South Australian wine producers already exporting to India to tap into new market opportunities, as well as those wineries looking to expand their international footprint into the Indian market. Initiative will feature education and assistance to South Australian wineries on how to access the Indian market, create a strong brand awareness, and provide importers and distributors with key information and insight into South Australian wines. Now, I am moving on to legal news that shook the brewing industry in recent days. The National Green Tribunal Bhopal bench has barred all commercial activities including restaurant, hotel and bar operations in the Nahargarh Wildlife Sanctuary within which the Nahargarh Fort is located. The tribunal has called business activities within Nahargarh Fort in Rajasthan illegal and ordered them to stop operations as they are non-forestry activity. The order was given in response to a public interest litigation. In a setback for liquor license holders, the Delhi High Court has declined to interfere with the Delhi government's decision to not extend the operation of L7 licenses in Delhi beyond 30th September. The court viewed that the state has all the power and jurisdiction to introduce a new excise policy. While dismissing an application challenging the government decision to not extend the operation of L7 licenses in the city, Chief Justice D.N. Patel and Justice Jyoti Singh observed that it ought to be kept in mind that change is inevitable. Excise policy is no exception to this rule. New experiments are always permitted in matters of policy. Prima facie, we don't want to prejudice the result and effect of the new policy. Subsequently, the Supreme Court also refused to entertain these petitions. The new excise policy of Delhi is scheduled to come into effect from 17th November this year. In a similar matter related to the state government's prerogative to decide its liquor business model in the state, the decision of the Orissa government to award liquor shops licenses through lottery system has been upheld by the Orissa High Court. The writ petitions challenging the selection of applications for liquor shops through a lottery system have been rejected by the division bench of the Orissa High Court comprising Chief Justice S. Muralidhar and Justice B. P. Rautre. The Orissa government had decided that under the new excise policy, licenses for all new IMFL shops were to be allotted through a process of lottery, while licenses pertaining to existing liquor shops in the state were to be renewed annually. Andhra Pradesh High Court questions Aadhaar-enabled liquor sale and has said that seeking Aadhaar details for purchasing liquor would be a breach of personal privacy. A PIL seeking directions to introduce digital payments in AP government-run liquor retail outlets and to link Aadhaar to liquor sales so as to keep track on who is purchasing the liquor. The High Court asked the petitioner's advocate if he was trying to question the morality of liquor consumer. Alcobev companies from across the globe have been showing their commitments to protect environment. In a recent development, Johnnie Walker owner Diageo has opened its first carbon neutral whiskey distillery in Kentucky, one of the largest of its kind in North America. This distillery will operate using 100% renewable electricity and will help save 117,000 metric tons of carbon emissions annually, which is the equivalent of taking 25,000 cars off the road. The site will produce up to 10 million proof gallons per year without using fossil fuels for production. The facility's first brand of whiskey to be produced will be Bulleit Bourbon, which it has already started distilling using electrode boilers powered by renewable energy. India's Alcobev companies are also marching with global common commitment to protect nature. India's leading wine producer, Sula Vineyards, has recently joined the International Wineries for Climate Action along with 11 other wineries from across the world. Member wineries have committed to tackle the severity of the climate crisis by taking immediate action to reduce their carbon emissions. For Sula, sustainability is a guiding principle of life and business. Sula generates almost 70% of its electricity through on-site installations of solar panels and has driven sustainability in packaging by switching to lightweight glass bottles and localizing supply chains. Now time to have a look at some new launches. Jack Daniel's is bringing its apple variant whiskey named Tennessee Apple to the Indian market. Jack Daniel's new expression Tennessee Apple is its third flavored whiskey in India, following Tennessee Honey and Tennessee Fire. Crafted from Jack Daniel's charcoal mellowed Tennessee whiskey that is matured in new American oak barrel and apple liqueur. Tennessee whiskey that is matured in new American oak barrels and apple liqueur. Tennessee Apple promises to be a smooth savor. The 70 proof alcoholic beverage is available in 750 ml bottles and it is presently available in Mumbai, Goa, Pune and Gurugram at retail stores during its initial launch in the country at a starting price of 2,300 rupees. Leading spirits producer Diageo has revealed the single malts selected for this year's special release collection called Legends Untold. The special releases collection will be available this autumn from specialist retailers across Europe, the US, Canada, Australia, select markets in Asia and global travel retail. The Legends Untold whiskies include Mortlach 13 years old, Singleton of Glendolin 19 years old, Talisker 8 years old, Lagavulin 26 years old, Lagavulin 12 years old, Cardew 14 years old, Oban 12 years old and Royal Lochnagar 16 years old. The legends of each whiskey can be activated via on-pack QR codes, beginning with the narration of the single malt's tale. Waterford Whiskey has announced Biodynamic Luna, which is being projected as the world's first whiskey made from biodynamic barley. The bottling is the latest whiskey in the distillery's Arcadian series, which showcases the flavors produced by forgotten ways of farming and rare barley varieties. Its tasting notes comprise apricot jam, lemon drizzle cake, milk chocolate with almonds, earthiness, bread pudding, brown sugar, tea with intense spices, dark chocolate, a vibrant maltiness and extreme flavor persistence. 21,000 bottles of Biodynamic Luna are available worldwide at approximately $125. Most awaited and highly regarded Spirit Selection 2021 awards concluded with a colorful celebration at the Radisson Blu Plaza, Delhi Airport, New Delhi on 1st October 2021 in the presence of foreign dignitaries, industry leaders and other esteemed individuals from Alcobev and hospitality sectors. The evening of awards was celebrated with appreciation for winners from different segments of Alcobev drinks. The evening was cheered with care by ensuring compliance to applicable COVID-19 guidelines. The event concluded with the resolution to return in 2022 with a revised schedule and plenty of surprises for India's Alcobev sector. If you have missed being part of the event, we welcome you to visit Spirits TV or book your copy of Spirits magazine's upcoming issue to get the feel of the spirited evening. The countdown for Spirits Achievers Awards 2021 to be held in December has already begun and the Spirits team is already on the task to make the forthcoming event memorable. I will sign off now and see you next week, same day and time. Till then, stay safe and say cheers with care.